DJ, one time when I lost the money, and I had no even fare from my house to town. I was walking to town. And one time I went to the washroom, and I discovered that the shoes I had worn, they were different. And I discovered that at 3 p.m. That means right from morning, mid-morning, lunch hour, the shoes were different, but I had not noted.
What?
I had not seen.
Different shoes?
Different shoes. That is the level of depression that was in me.
Good. When you know it's Friday, you know it's time for hashtag Ask Wachiuri. We are Facebook Live on all our social media platform. George Wachiuri, Optiven Limited, and also at DJ Covenant. Today we have a very, very exciting topic and very important one. I know people have got a lot of discouragements, depression, so many things. People have asked questions about this topic. And today, we are honored to have our able mentor who is going to tell us even personal experience about depression. He has suffered depression, so we are going to hear about that. Karibu sana.
Wow, asante.
Good to have you again.
Thank you, DJ.
And I'm happy at least today we have a new topic that touches so many hearts. Maybe we can start just direct and we ask, what is depression?
Wow, when you mention depression, it touches me because I suffered depression. And depression is a state of mind whereby you become sad, you lose touch of people, you become moody, and you don't see the meaning of life. And I remember 2008, I was in that situation. Not 1 month, not 2 months, for over 6 months when I lost money. This is whereby you figure out, you see, this was your savings for 10 years, the money is gone, and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's a situation whereby you cannot be able even to make your personal decisions. You know, you think you are worthless. And when this topic came in my mind, I flashed back 2008. And also discovered that there are many people who are also suffering from this mental illness. Depression, because it's a mental illness. There are many people suffering depression. I was reading some statistics from World Health Organization, and they were saying that we are losing 1 million people globally through depression.
1 million people.
1 million people. Because DJ Covenant, when you are depressed, you are prone to other diseases. Some people even go mad because of depression, because it's extended, stressful situation. I was also reading that for the past couple of months, Kenya alone, we are recording suicidal incidences across the 47 counties. And when I looked at it, I said, I think it's a high time. We may not be professionals, we are not doctors, but it's good to share how people can be able to manage, to cope, and to identify that they are suffering from depression. Because it's real. It's real in Kenya that many of our people, the youth, the old, they are suffering from depression. And you cannot tell unless someone tells you you are suffering from depression. DJ, one time when I lost the money, and I had no even fare from my house to town. I was walking to town. And one time I went to the washroom, and I discovered that the shoes I had worn, they were different. And I discovered that at 3 p.m. That means right from morning, mid-morning, lunch hour, the shoes were different, but I had not noted.
What?
I had not seen.
Different shoes.
Different shoes. That is the level of depression that was in me. That means I don't know where friends were to tell me, hey, George, Bwana, your shoes are different. And I discovered, maybe, George, now, your head is going amok. And there are many situations whereby you cannot discover you are under depression until someone like DJ Covenant tells you, George, watch out. Things are not okay.
Let me ask, if you don't mind, what happened? Because someone can ask, okay, how did you get that to your depression? So that maybe I know, maybe now I'm in depression. How did yours come to be?
One of the things of the major causes of depression is the situations that we are in. That time I was in a situation of loss. There are other people who are in the situation of maybe you lose somebody you love, Me, I lost a lot of money. By then, 5 million was a lot of money.
What?
There are other people who lose relatives, they lose a job, and you find that somebody, the entire hope of the job is, somebody is depending on that job. When you lose it, you lose hope. And for me, when I lost my 10-year savings, it meant a lot to me.
Wow.
So it was not easy to cope. I was thinking, where do I get another job? And for sure, I applied for jobs. They never came. Even regrets never came. And that's why I authored a book to remember that particular period, 2008, on how God can be able to lift you up once again. And this is an encouragement to many of us who are out there who may be suffering from depression, that there is hope when you persist and then you discover that you are having depression. Because many of us, many people who are watching us today, I'm sure they can confess that maybe I'm under depression. I'm under intense stress, because that is depression. And we'll be able to discuss this show on how to cope with that depression. But for me, how I coped with the depression, of course, I'm a prayerful man.
Wow.
So I was telling God, please help me to overcome this depression. I also had a friend, my own pastor, who was also praying for me.
Wow.
So it was a social support. So when you are depressed, you require social support. Unfortunately, when we have issues, people run away from us. People run away from you. So it's important, even now that you are happy, identify people you can start with so that socially you are okay. Sometimes it's not only situation, it's your thoughts, the thoughts that you have. So if you keep encouraging those thoughts, negative thoughts, it keep implanting in you that you are worthless, you are not useful. So we need to manage the thought process that we have. I remember that time I used to go to Uhuru Park. It's a park here in the city of Nairobi. Just to stay there, gaze at the skies, read my Bible, and I was fashioning my thoughts to say, hey, George, you have lost, but there might be hope. So when you read the word of God, you see there is hope. In the book of Philippians 4,
yes.
Philippians 4:6, it says, don't be anxious of anything. And I was reading that verse every time and then to encourage me to manage the thought process.
So one is situations,
Yes.
Two is thoughts. Any other?
Of course, we are living in a situation whereby people are very secretive. So if you lack social support or social deprivation, people have no time for each other. And you may think that, oh, me as DJ, I think I'm not worth, because people don't like me, people don't know to associate with me, and you keep now thinking, since you don't have social support, you give up. Once you give up, stress comes. Once stress comes, extended one, depression sets in. They say depression is the illness of civilization. Before, our mothers and our gukas, they were not suffering from depression, but today's world, because it's a very fast world, people are competing. You want to compare DJ today and your friends. That kind of competition, you may think that you're not sufficient. So we find that there are so many people suffering from depression, either from competition, either from not loving themselves. Some people are even changing their color. And I tell people, if you are black, that's black beauty. Love the way you are. Don't compare yourself.
That point is important. You should tell them directly.
So if you are black, love the way you are. If you have some face you don't like it, because that's how you are created. So once you love yourself, let me tell you, you are going to kick out this kind of illness we are calling depression.
This is part of lifestyle, how people live.
Today we are living in the world whereby people have no time to exercise. People have no time to eat well. Today's lifestyle is so fast that even having your own time, you don't have your own time. People are sleeping less, and they say, if you sleep less than 7 hours a day, one of these 5 days, you are going to caught up by either stress or depression, because the way we were created, the body is supposed to rest. So it's important for you to rest. So the lifestyle today, people are looking for material wealth. And you look for material wealth, you forget about your own life. So it's very, very important that even as we chase the Kenya shillings, we chase the dollar, it's important for all of us to have time for ourselves, especially people who are working out there. You have no time for your children, no time for your spouse, no time for your own self. It's very, very important that within 7 days that we have, dedicate 1 day, just rest. For me, I say every Thursday is a resting day. I rest on a Thursday.
Wow.
Because we are not. Life is a roller coaster, and if you just set in on a roller coaster, you cannot move out. So it's important for our viewers to ensure that you have time for you to rest. That's why even in employment, we are given 21 days leave. Please take that leave.
Should take it.
Take that leave.
Someone is asking, how do I know even I have depression? How do you even know that I have depression? Maybe, for example.
Some of the things that you know that you have depression, one of the major signs is loss of sleep.
Unakosa usingizi.
Unakosa usingizi.
Yeah.
So you sleep for 2 hours, 3 hours, you are rolling on the bed, you can't get sleep, thoughts are coming. That's an indicator. If it is consistent for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you better see a doctor. Or some people even take medicine, antidepressants medicine. You just know that you have a problem. You can also have depressing moods. You know, you have your mood is changing. You know, something small, you say, hey, you react, you overreact.
They call it mood swing.
Exactly, mood swing. So that mood swing, if you see it's happening many times, be careful. Just know that the depression is setting in. Something else you can also identify, you have some suicidal thoughts.
Suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, you say, hey, George, I think I'm useless. You're even thinking, taking away your life. Suicidal thoughts.
You stop valuing yourself.
And those suicidal thoughts comes and they disappear. They come again, they disappear. So once you find that they are coming, you know, those thoughts saying that you are worthless, be careful. Just know that you are suffering from depression. It's very, very important to know that, of course, feeling empty. You know, you are talking to people and you feel you don't matter. You are feeling empty. You are feeling you don't have anything to offer, and you become very sensitive because something small you become extremely sensitive. So if you find that you are having those kind of things, just know that all is not well. You can be able either to see a doctor, or you can join social circles, or you can also empower, you know, yourself, put energy in yourself, because depression, DJ Covenant, is a disease.
It is.
It is a disease.
It is.
If you go to our schools today, we are having experiences of our children banning schools. Of course, it's a level of stress, but some of them are depressed. They are saying, I don't want to do an exam because I am worthless, so I better ban a school so that everybody loses. Because people who suffer from depression, they also kill. They can easily kill. They kill somebody, they kill the children, and they kill themselves. So if you find that maybe you are married, and you find that your spouse is suffering from depression, wasaidie, wapeleka hospitali, check how they are spending their days, and we can be able to prevent some of these things. If you look at our society today, Kenya is one of the fastest countries. You know, everybody is in competition. Go to any industry. People are doing businesses. Business are not doing well. People are doing career. Students are going to the universities. They are doing degrees. Let me tell you, DJ Covenant. Every day I'm getting applications for people looking for internship, people looking for jobs. At Optiven, we have already now filled up internships. And sometimes I feel, what can I do to enlarge this bracket of giving our graduates some chances? You can imagine, you have gone down your engineering, your architecture, and you cannot get a job. What happens? That particular student, remember, is an intelligent student, and they cannot even get an internship. So what sets in their mind? They become depressed. That's why we ask people out there who are in businesses, if you have a special desk somewhere, let these young people sit there and learn. Let's open up our offices. Let's give them a chance.
What causes this emptiness? Maybe someone, you know, there's some time back I was feeling like I'm not achieving what I want. This emptiness, what exactly someone feels when you feel empty?
Once you feel empty, you feel worthless. You say, hey, George, you feel you're not useful to anyone, even to yourself. So that is emptiness, good for nothing. You know, you condemn yourself. Once you condemn yourself, any small trigger will cause a problem. And the reason for that emptiness is when you had expectations, they are not met. You have cleared school, you expected a job. You know, you had a girlfriend who has told you, I can't marry you. You had a working marriage, it's not working. You have a good career, now you have no career. You have lost money like what I did. You know, there are many causes of these kind of stresses, this kind of depression. And by the way, depression is not discouragement, because discouragement is temporal. Oh. You know, discouragement, actually, I can say something.
Someone had asked about that.
Yes.
Difference between depression and discouragement.
Discouragement, I can comment something here, say, George, you have discouraged me, but it's going to be temporal. Maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you are good. But depression is long term. You know, it eats you up, it eats your memory, it eats your brains. You know, it eats your thinking process, the decision making. You can't make decisions. Because once you are depressed, you can make crazy decisions. People wonder, hey, why is DJ behaving this way? It is basically that kind of mental illness.
Sir, you know, it's even getting difficult here. If you talk to your boss maybe because you're depressed. How do now them help you? How will your boss now be? Let's talk to bosses now.
Yes, yeah.
How would they help these people who, and them identifying someone is even depressed?
That's why it's important when you are boss somewhere. You know, when you see your employee is behaving funnily, don't rush to punish them. Find out, do they have family issues? Do they have relationship issues? Do they have cash flow issues? Maybe they are broke.
Yeah.
So it's important. That's why we say that managers must have human skills, because you are not managing assets, you are managing people. Somebody said that the best leaders are those people who manage resources and develop people. Those are the greatest leaders. But of course, the good leaders, they manage people, they develop assets or resources. But the greatest leader is the one who develops people and manages resources. So it's important. As you handle people, just learn them. You know, maybe DJ today was behaving so well. What has changed? Find out what are the changes, so that you don't condemn people, yet they are undergoing serious sufferings.
Bosses, mumesikia hapo, ni muhimu. Anyway, there's another person called DK Warecho asking, do professionals like Wachiuri and Covenant get depressed?
Of course, there are many professionals, many career people, many professors, many presidents that are depressed. There are many.
There.
That's why you find that these people in top leadership, they have a counselor. Sometimes they feel so down, they need somebody to counsel them. So they suffer most. So the rich also cry. Fantastic.
How to cope up?
Of course, we say that there are millions of Kenyan people, either here in Kenya, all out there who are suffering from depression. Let me share what I did. One of the things that helped me a lot is physical exercise. You just walk. You know, if you have living in areas there are some trees, you just walk under the trees and just refresh. You know, listen to the voice of birds. Physical exercise is very important. You know, that one helped me a lot. It can help you, the physical exercise. Something else is to control our thoughts. When those negative thoughts come, refuse them, reject them, replace them with positive thoughts. If someone tells you you are not handsome, say, hey, I am handsome, I am good. Maybe you are fired from job. Say, the job I have lost, God is preparing something better for me. Every time that you are neglected by maybe your spouse or your family, remember, change that to create opportunities. People say that when you fail, failure is a lesson for a better tomorrow. So don't stay there. When you fall down 7 times, rise up on the 8th. That's the principle. And you're going to reduce this kind of depression. You can also manage your lifestyles. You know, today we are living in a field whereby life is very fast. You can be able to plan your day every other day. When you rise up in the morning, plan your day. You know, plan your day. I'll do this, I'll see DJ Covenant, I'll do FB Live. Plan your day. Manage the situations. When the situations are terrible, change them. People out there, you are trying business, you are trying relationship, you are condemning yourself. Time is coming that all those trials, those stressful moments, will become a testimony. So the thing is, don't just die there. Don't just give up. Change it. Try to tune it. Talk to people. Join social groups. That's why it's very important for you to have a shama, or people you can call up upon them, or people you buy tea and just laugh. Unacheka tu. Doing nothing. You are just laughing because you are releasing those kind of stresses. So don't be too serious. Don't be aloof. You can't be alone in this world. You need people. You need people to work with you. So it's very important. Have friends, have mentors who can talk to. When things are not working, have somebody you can disclose your challenges to. And finally, enjoy life. Life is short. Life is short. In a week, have one day to reward yourself. Go for coffee. If you're married, go for coffee with your spouse. If you're not married, chukua bade bwana. Mwende mkunye kahawa. Enjoy life, because life is, you cannot repeat yesterday. It's gone. Today, the minutes that have passed is gone. You are looking at tomorrow. So you better enjoy life. Don't kill yourself.